let's just get right into it. Coloring. I am not a big fan of it. I think if you've ever watched a single video of this channel, or if you know anything about me, you personally understand that I don't like coloring. I always prefer line work. I prefer sketches. It typically looks best when it's in black and white, in my opinion. I've read manga ever since I was a kid. I just like the look of just pure inking, okay? That does not mean that I think coloring looks awful. That is not true. I just can't do it good enough. It's a skill issue. It is purely a skill issue, and I'm not good enough to do it. But unfortunately, for my New Year's resolution video, I said that I would learn how to color. At least in some way, I would make progress this year for coloring, and that's what I intend to do. And I thought, you know what? Let's start in the beginning of the year, so like halfway through the year, 6 months in, I'm like, oh crap, I haven't colored anything. I haven't colored a single thing. And now I'm like really far behind, and then I have to lie and be like, oh my God, I've been coloring this entire time. And in reality, the process I'm using is super simple. So I'm just going to compare throughout this video. I'm going to explain how I do my coloring. This is the most recent coloring drawing that I've done, the first one I've done this year, and I'm going to explain how I did this. So later on in the year, or maybe at the end of the year, if I have gained a new process or if I've gotten a lot better, I can compare and contrast how it turned out. Now, if you're watching this video to specifically acquire a brand new way of coloring, or if you want to get somewhere started, I recommend this if you are purely starting out. If you know anything else about coloring, if you have already colored before and you have a very proficient way of doing it, this is not going to teach you some wow drastic way. It's not going to be some super extreme professional rendering or something very, very beautiful. It is purely on the most beginner and simplistic level. All right, this is how I'm going to color, because this is how I get it done really fast and efficiently. Okay, now that we got out of the way, you can continue. All right, so this coloring requires only 2 extra layers, and that is all. All right, you are going to require a screen layer and a multiply layer, which most softwares have. If you have Photoshop, if you have Clip Studio Paint, even if you have Autodesk Pro, I think if you have Procreate, they should have these processes. They should have these layers where you can change the layer setting and turn it to screening layer or multiply layer. What these layers do is that they automatically shift the color to be brighter or darker, right? That's all it is. It will automatically do it for you. So pretty much one acts as a shadow and one acts as a light source. Screens are the light source, multiplies are the shadows, okay? So what I first do is that I take one color that is very close to the feeling of what I want and completely paint my character fully in it. Okay, so this piece is a warmer piece. I'm going to prefer warmer colors like oranges, reds, maybe shades of pink and purple. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a grayish orange hue, right? So close to brown. Maybe if you move the dial a little closer to purple, it might be more of a maroon color, a very dark maroon color. Put it all over the character in order to have one flat color covering the whole thing. Okay, this allows for any empty spaces that you have possibly left over while coloring to be blocked, and it just feels like it's more in unison. All right, then pick any of your colors, obviously any flat colors, and just keep those to the side for now. Okay, you can decide them a little earlier in order to better fit all your colors. You know, you want to decide them not, you know, all in one go rather than one by one as you know, as you continue drawing, because it becomes more cohesive that way. And yeah, I guess you can change them somewhat through time or through the process, but overall I recommend getting a pretty good set of colors in the beginning in order so you have like already a feel or a vibe that you are already trying to achieve instead of trying to figure out midway. Okay, well, you're gonna push those to a side, because what you're gonna do first is the light source. I prefer starting off with the light source, because when I start off with the light source, I can figure out where the shadows are next, and then I can figure out how the flats are gonna bounce off it. Okay, so what you're gonna do is that you're gonna pick the color of your light source. If it's coming from the sky, it's gonna be a bit of a yellowish hue. If it's coming from a fireplace or a lamp, it's gonna be more of an orange hue. If it's gonna be like some theater light, I would say it's like bluish, right? If that LED blue, okay? Or if you're drawing some superhero and he has electric powers, draw whatever the color of the electric power is, okay? I'm choosing a more orange hue. Obviously, I'm going for a warmer tone, so I'm going to pretend like she's sitting outside in the patio and there's a door behind her and she has some yellow light coming from that house. So I choose a more light orange hue. I then set the layer to screen, and then I draw where I think the light is going to be placed on the character, how the light lays on the character. All right, it's coming from the back, so it's going to lay all over the back and some parts of the hair, and it's going to reach around her bottom and just slightly peek through, right? That's as simple as it's going to be. You're going to do the light first, okay? Secondly, you're going to take your multiply layer and then find a color, again, that matches and is consistent of the vibe you're going for. Because it's warm, I'm going for a maroon color, all right? And this maroon color is actually quite bright when you actually turn off the multiply layer. But all it is it's going to be one maroon color. I'm going to paint where I think the shadows are made in a counterpart or in unison with the light. Okay, because remember, shadow isn't random. It's just the absence of where light is. Okay, so make sure you place that in correct positions, because even if, and this isn't a guide on how to on the positions of light and shadow, you need to understand that your light and shadow could look as amazing as possible, but if the placements are wrong, the audience is going to understand that it's going to be a little off and that you need fixing. I'm no expert on that, and I cannot give you a tutorial on that. I'm not trying to figure that out. I'm trying to teach you how I personally color, all right? But you need to figure out how to layer shadows by yourself, because I'm not gonna lie, not confident enough to teach that. Okay, so after you have your shadows placed, you turn off both those layers and then go to a flat coloring layer. Okay, then just paint all your flat colors how it is: the skin, the clothes, the hair, any accessories, eyes, blah blah, all of that. And after you're done, you turn back on the screen layer and the multiply layer. Now they're gonna look a little harsh. This is where you're gonna fiddle with the opacity of both layers in order to perfectly match it with how you want it to be. And at the end of the day, once you're done, that is how I'm going to color. That's how I color right now. That is the whole process. Very simple, very fast, very efficient. At max, you should have at least you should have 3 layers: a flat color layer, a screen, and a multiply layer, and maybe separate your layers depending on like skin, clothes, and hair. But it's a much more simplistic and easy way of coloring, and this is what I prefer so far. How I colored before was that every single part, the skin, the clothes, the hair, had its own separate multiply and screen layer, which does end up looking better because the shadows and the lights are more in tune with that specific part of the body. But it lead to me being very disorganized. It lead to me having to find a lot of colors all at once and doing things, I guess, just in an unorganized and unprepared way, which is still my fault. But I found it a little overwhelming to just throw myself into a bunch of layers and a bunch of different processes. So I decided that I'm going to slow it down, find an even easier way, and start from there. Okay, so to do a quick summary: screen layers light things up, multiply layers darken things down. Do your flat colors and then add back your screen and multiply layers once you have them down. That's it, simple as that. So yeah, that's the process. I get that it was a lot of explaining. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this video because I'm gonna have to do a lot of like oh, find this here, all of that, But overall, I just wanted to explain and very quickly show people how I color. And this is it's not really a tutorial. It's more like a process. It's more like a where I am at this point. If other people are going to use this as a tutorial, please use it very lightly, and also find other people to teach you. There are much more efficient and better people out there that can teach you how to color. I'm simply just trying to learn. I just feel like a lot of people would kind of connect with the idea that I'm trying to learn too. But yeah, have a wonderful day, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys take good care. Here are the 3 comments. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been lovely, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Take good care. Have a wonderful one. Bye-bye. My dad's making chicken wings tonight. Yeah, boy. My dad loves making chicken wings sometimes. They're really good. I enjoy them personally. But that means I probably won't eat anything for the whole day because he'll probably make like 50 of them. So I'm hungry right now, but all I know is that it's going to be worth it when he gets home and fries them. So yeah.